Attachments blur accountability because they distort perception. You know, when you're deeply attached, either to a person, an idea, a belief, or even a possession, your ability to see clearly becomes compromised. You know, you stop being objective, and instead of taking responsibility for your role in outcomes, you justify, you defend, or even ignore uncomfortable truths. Huh? The stronger the attachment, the weaker the accountability. This happens because attachment replaces awareness with dependency. You know, you start serving what you are attached to instead of staying true to your principles. Attachment creates emotional bias. When you are attached to someone or something, you unconsciously protect that attachment, even at the expense of truth. Like, for example, someone attached to a toxic relationship. They may excuse harmful behavior rather than confront it, saying it is love. Similarly, a person attached to success might justify unethical choices, all in the name of ambition. In both cases, attachment clouds discernment. You know, accountability requires self-honesty, the ability to say, I contributed to this, or I need to change this. But attachment makes you emotionally invested in maintaining the illusion that nothing is wrong. You protect the attachment because losing it feels like losing yourself. You know, the result is stagnation, no growth, no clarity, and no evolution. Detachment, on the other hand, doesn't mean indifference. It means clarity. It allows you to love, care, or even commit without being enslaved by the outcome. You know, from that space, you can see both yourself and the situation truthfully, which is where real accountability begins. Psychologically, attachment triggers defense mechanisms like denial and even projection. The mind resists acknowledging anything that threatens the attachment because doing so triggers fear of loss. And this creates cognitive dissonance. You know, that gap between reality and what one chooses to believe. When accountability requires admitting fault or letting go, the attached mind rationalizes instead. Detachment restores psychological balance by separating identity from possession. You know, I am not what I cling to. Spiritually, attachment binds energy. It ties your vibration to impermanent things, trapping your spirit in cycles of control, fear, and dependency. You know, true freedom and accountability comes from alignment, not attachment. When you release attachment, you see events as part of divine flow rather than personal ownership. You stop forcing outcomes and start learning from them. You know, in spiritual terms, detachment is love in its purest form. I've even done a video on detachment and love. That is awareness without possession, connection without control. You know, in short, attachment clouds judgment and weakens accountability because it ties your identity to what you fear losing. To be truly accountable is to be free, to see clearly without clinging. Detachment restores that freedom, allowing you to face truth with both humility and grace. My people, heal. Heal.